Hi, I'm Evan Pantazi. I want to talk to you today about the Trick of Kyusho. Now, the Trick of Kyusho is not learning how to hurt someone or drop someone or make them unconscious. The Trick of Kyusho is to cause a dysfunction in the human body without hurting them. That includes restraint. That's the trick. How to use the Kyusho and put the intent in and get the person down in an emergency situation under heavy stress, but without hurting the individual. The restraint on these targets is a hands on type of learned skill. You can't just think about it. You can't just imagine you have this skill. You can't just drop someone using a standing person using a Kyusho technique and expect it to work under stress. You have to work under stress to get this skill to be able to drop a person using the Kyusho targets and the tools, but without hurting them. Okay, and that's because first of all you need to train it a lot. So if you don't have the restraint, you're not going to have a lot of training partners. All right, so you need to be able to accomplish your goals without hurting an individual. You also have to learn the resuscitations, because those resuscitations will teach you how to drop them faster and easier, because you're understanding the engineering of Kyusho as well as the reverse engineering of Kyusho. That's a vital point in this conversation. Again, it's not learning how to drop someone. I mean, you could just slug someone in the side of the head and you could drop them. You can knock them unconscious, but is there damage involved? All right, is there damage involved to your own hands? There's a lot of things that you need to be aware of, and stress, panic, multiple opponents, speed, environment, all of these come into play, and you have to weigh them and you have to work with them. But using that restraint to not seriously injure a person during a high stress encounter is the Trick of Kyusho. So this is a short video. I just wanted to let you know that the Trick of Kyusho is not dropping them. It's not hurting them as you drop them. Learning that restraint so you can practice further in your Kyusho studies, get deeper into the body. Like some of these blood targets, as I've mentioned in the past, you got to be careful. Okay, we're going into these vessels, and if you make a tear in a vessel, okay, an important vessel as a matter of fact, you're going to seriously injure that person. All right, now if you're doing that in training, that's unethical, it's stupid, okay, and again, you're liable. So working with that restraint but still getting the same effects, that's the trick of Kyusho. And you need to work on it and get yourself to that point where you know if you just pushed a little harder, you're going to cause some serious damage. But at the same time, you can still affect the technique to get the feedback, to understand if it's a valuable method, okay, and if it's a keeper. Okay, so you pick it up, you do it standing and stationary, and that's what drives most martial artists crazy. They think it's all fake because you're testing something. Then you need to increase the stress levels and the emergency effects, and trying to get yourself in a realistic situation to get deeper effects, but at the same time keeping the restraint so you don't injure someone. So, folks, that's just the Trick of Kyusho. You take care.